breaks his jaw in 2 places.
Yeah. And
His jaw's wired shut now. He lost teeth.
He's probably cooked. He should retire, man. That was a clear
retire?
check, right? Hell yeah, that was a clear reality check, bro.
Yeah, but it's a reality check to stay in your own division or...
He was literally running. Look at some of those rounds. He was running. He was going north to south, not side to side. He was running.
Joe Rogan.
Following his horrific knockout loss to Anthony Joshua, Joe Rogan strongly advises Jake Paul to give up boxing. He emphasizes how risky it is to keep on in this direction. According to Rogan, the harm caused by battles like these can affect a fighter's mental health, memory, and emotional stability for the rest of their lives. He cautions that severe neurological issues and chronic depression might result from repeated trauma. Long-term health is not worth compromising for any amount of money or attention.
Balance that's going to lead you to addiction. It leads so many people to impulsive behavior. So many people become gambling addicts, drug addicts, alcoholics after their fighting career.
Yeah.
It's you could only take so much. And at a certain, like that one that he got from Joshua, ooh. You know, say if you have like a punch card, you have like so many punches that you can get in your life, which I believe you do. I believe there's a certain number. That one was like 10 punches.
Yeah.
That was like, there was a lot of concussions in that one punch.
Sure.
That was real damage. Like if someone's breaking your jaw in 2 places, the inside of your fucking head, there's a lot.
According to psychologist Derek Van Schaik, Jake Paul was in grave danger when he met Anthony Joshua. Joshua's quantity and accuracy of punches, which included a clean right-hand blow that broke Jake's lower jaw in 2 places, might have been disastrous. As he became aware of how serious his position was, Jake's body language throughout the last moments showed pure fear and tiredness. He begged Joshua in silence, feeling vulnerable and cornered. His facial expressions conveyed the shock of confronting a strength he had never experienced before. Van Schaik emphasizes that this degree of punishment can have long-term psychological and neurological repercussions in addition to physical harm. Jake's health and safety could be in jeopardy if he continues to compete against elite boxers, as the fight showed. All experts agree that retirement is the most responsible and essential decision for his well-being following such trauma.
And also aim a little lower to land that clean right-hand punch on the side of Jake's face, which fractured his lower jaw, still hospitalizing Jake Paul, but not actually killing him.
If Anthony Joshua won, Anthony killed this guy. Rolls-Royce, Fiat.
The variety of emotions we see in the final moments of the fight are fascinating. AJ finally corners Jake, hits him with a quick left-hand jab to the body, which lowers his guard, opening up a clean right-hand shot to the head. You can see AJ smile there when he sees Jake had fallen into his trap and knows that he's about to finish him off.
And then you just keep exploiting. Some people give up. Some people get knocked out.
Jake's body language and facial expressions when he knows it's all over for him is a little sad as he whimpers in the corner with that scared, nauseous look on his face, realizing this may be his final moment on Earth.
If I get hit with that shot, I'm screwed. I don't believe he's gonna hit me with those shots.
You gonna hit him with that?
100%. And land that right hand that he says is my only weapon.
If you look at Jake's eyes and face, he's pleading for mercy to AJ as if he's a child. Please don't do this.
Some people get knocked out.
It's actually quite surreal that the moment many of us were concerned what happened to Jake actually happened in real life.
If Jake Paul is left, up against the ropes with Anthony Joshua, unloading on him, could be the end for him, literally. It could be his last day on earth.
Jake Paul was helplessly exhausted, badly beaten, and cornered where AJ could have unloaded a flurry of clean punches on Jake. When he takes that clean right shot from AJ, breaking his jaw in 2 places and then falls to the ground.
And his chin served on a platter, and look at Jake Paul's face. He knew it right away. He said, woo!
Some wondered why Jake had that emotion of excitement. Do you know why? When he was cornered by AJ, Jake's amygdala.
In response, the boxing community firmly believes that Jake Paul should quit right away because he is completely exposed. His bout with Anthony Joshua was a sobering reminder that he is not up to par with great opponents. Both experts and supporters note that the knockout and repeated punishment he received highlight the risks to his physical and mental well-being. Many maintain that the best course of action to safeguard his future and health is to take a step back now.
Retire, man. That was a clear
Retire?
check. Hell yeah, that was a clear reality check, bro.
Yeah, but it's
You
a
gotta
reality
retire.
check to stay in your own division, or, you know, don't jump in class so far up. Not retirement. He ain't get slept. Like, you don't give him
Well,
no
look-
respect for that?
Hell no. Gang.
What?
I'm saying, look at his list. It's all high-level boxer, and you seen what just happened when he stepped up to a legit boxer. He got cooked. He got to retire, man. He either got to retire or start fucking with these misfits boxer dudes. He ain't gonna make it with that kind of...
Jake Paul risked significant harm by repeatedly taking a knee against a larger, taller opponent. His career was irrevocably impacted by each fall, which put him at risk for ligament damage akin to what happened to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. against Sergio Martinez. In addition to breaking his jaw, Joshua's 260-pound frame caused Jake to repeatedly collapse, depleting his energy as he battled to stand back up. He struck the canvas at least a dozen times, according to analysts, indicating a bad plan and careless technique. The disparity between hype and reality was only brought to light by making grand claims about defeating Joshua. Despite all the advertising, fans and experts concur that Jake's performance revealed he was physically exposed, outmatched, and overexerted, demonstrating that continuing at this level is risky and hazardous.
Bigger, taller person, so keep taking the knee. First of all, your knee, you can get ligament damage. Remember when Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was losing every round to Sergio Martinez? And then Martinez fell to the ground kind of weird. He messed up his knee. He was never the same fighter. So you got a broken jaw, but you could have tore ligaments in your knee by having a 260-pound man, fall on top of you because you keep making it sloppy and falling around and spilling about. And even if you don't like rupture something or tear a ligament or whatever, it's not really much better than someone leaning on you. Do you know how much energy you exert by having to be 220 pounds or whatever, 216, and keep picking yourself back up? Like I seen a thing, I didn't count myself, but it said there were 12 or 13, maybe 14 times that Jake Paul was on the canvas. Horrible strategy. And Netflix, I don't even see how they would like that. And for me, this generation they're chopped, bro. Jake Paul did all this, and y'all want me to give a bunch of credit. Jake Paul did all this talking about Joshua getting knocked out. You did whatever to sell the fight, but you didn't make good. That doesn't make you look good when you talk crazy and talk spicy, and then you have no intentions of fulfilling that. And then you got the Jake Paul fans and the Andrew Tate fans, because they lost kind of back to back, where they're trying their hardest to turn this into some inspirational story. Like, oh, as long as you try, it doesn't matter. No, Andrew Tate said, what do you call someone?
Jake Paul has never fought an opponent like Anthony Joshua and has never encountered this degree of intensity aimed at him, according to Joe Rogan. His body has now endured a force it has never experienced before after fighting Joshua. The crushing blow that shattered his jaw in 2 places probably also seriously damaged his internal organs, possibly including his brain. Rogan highlights that this is a warning indicator of the risks associated with competing against great fighters rather than only a physical ailment. Beyond what is initially apparent, such trauma may have long-term effects.
Sure, make 190.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's gigantic.
So big.
He's so big. He's so much bigger. So, of course, like, his punch that he knocks Tyron Woodley out cold with, Joshua just eats it.
Yeah.
Because he's a giant.
Yeah.
He's a fucking giant man.
So big, dude.
He's so big.
I give Jake so much credit for stepping into that ring.
Bro, he got hit with a bomb, a right-hand bomb.
When he got hit with that too, I don't know if enough has been made of the fact that
I mean, it was absolutely devastating. But the fact that he had awareness immediately to go like he looked at the crowd
he's
like, oh shit, like wow.
He goes,
It
"I got
wasn't like,
cracked."
yeah.
I think he went into that fight knowing that was probably going to happen, and ultimately, the big win for him would be that he was even willing to do it, and that he could do well for a
Analysts note that Jake Paul barely made it through his bout with Anthony Joshua, striking his knees multiple times and even collapsing to the ground on multiple occasions. Despite this, Jake boldly asserts that he whooped Joshua, a claim that many experts find absurd in light of the situation. Observers stress that Paul's main driving force was money rather than athletic success, so it is inappropriate to give him too much credit for this performance. In contrast to some YouTube celebrities or casual fighters who enter the ring for attention, Jake has already competed in 12 professional fights, losing 2 of them. Paul's record has been put to the test in actual combat, as evidenced by the fact that these losses were from genuinely competitive opponents rather than retired or low-level boxers. Analysts contend that overhyping Paul's performance distorts the reality of the fight, and that surviving a contest against a top heavyweight like Joshua is not the same as winning or dominating. They emphasize how important it is to comprehend the circumstances surrounding his wins and defeats, especially when evaluating his assertions regarding his skills and the importance of the battle. They contend that rather than amplifying storylines fueled by social or financial media, the emphasis should continue to be on the actual threats that soldiers face.
He had a 12-1 record. Well, he's 12-2 now. Lost against the 2 boxers that was young and healthy, and who trained boxing and not from a different sport or over the hill or retired. Okay? You treat him like a boxer. Stop calling him a YouTuber. Stop calling him, because this is what they're doing now. We saw all the predictions. Y'all didn't see the predictions where everybody was shitting on Anthony Joshua and not putting respect on his name, acting like he's going to get knocked out. Tyson Fury said it. Oscar De La Hoya said it. Drake put $200,000 on Jake Paul. Nate Diaz said Anthony Joshua was going to get knocked out. David Hay picked Jake Paul. Let's not forget, right at the press conference, they went on the whole panel and asked who would win, Anthony Joshua or Jake Paul. And everybody was saying Jake Paul. Ridiculous. We're going to get into the disrespect of Anthony Joshua. So let's treat him like a real fucking boxer. Because he is. When I said once, this is what I told everybody. Once he actually fought Tommy Fury, who was the first boxer he fought. Once he fought a boxer, win or lose, I said, now I count him as a professional boxer. I'm not counting you as a professional boxer when you're fighting NBA players, other YouTubers, MMA fighters who are even just fucking wrestlers and BJJ practitioners like Ben Askren and AD.
Sugar Sean draws attention to Jake Paul's courageous promotion and fight against an Olympic champion such as Anthony Joshua. He clarifies that fighting someone of Joshua's caliber necessitates overcoming internal issues and dealing with extreme dread. Paul convinced himself that he could succeed despite the risks, even though he was aware of the danger. Sean observes the clever strategy, which uses a big 22-foot ring to remain quicker, annoy Joshua, and deliver calculated blows. Joshua was able to absorb Paul's crisp shots because of his stature and talent. Sean emphasizes that it took bravery and meticulous preparation, not luck, to survive and carry out this tactic.
The way this should be marketed is not, can Jake Paul beat Anthony Joshua? That's insane. That's not real. That's not real in any facet. There was never a chance. There's never a chance. And the Jake Paul fans, and I was getting this a ton from DMs and comments going, well, everyone has a puncher's chance. That's an uneducated opinion. A puncher's chance, yes. If they're in a bar and Anthony Joshua's there at the pub and Jake Paul were to sneak up behind him and hit him in the back of the head or, in the side or something, maybe, even then, he's a little light in the ass, but maybe That's a puncher's chance. In a professional bout where a professional fighter at the level of Anthony Joshua is at, and he is going into a ring knowing and expecting to get hit, there is no puncher's chance when there's that much discrepancy in talent level. There's not, especially when the size difference. And some of you will say, Jake Paul hits hard. To you, yes, to you. But also, Jake Paul hits hard for a 200-pound man. He wouldn't even measure in the top 1,000 professional heavyweight boxers in the world as far as the strength knockout meter, if there is such a thing. It's not possible. So a lot of you were tuning in for saying, well, he has a puncher's chance. That's not real. That doesn't exist here. And now they could do this, but I don't think it's going to get the same amount of views, but it would set expectations. If when this fight was announced, Jake Paul's team said, hey, we're fighting Anthony Joshua. Who thinks we can last 8 rounds? Who thinks we can go all 8 rounds? Who thinks Jake Paul can go 8 rounds?
The notion of whether Jake Paul might defeat Anthony Joshua is utterly implausible, according to Brendan Schaub. Regardless of what fans may think, he emphasizes that Paul had no actual chance of winning. Everyone has a puncher's chance, according to many supporters, but Schaub labels this as ignorant. There just isn't a puncher's chance in a professional fight, particularly against someone of Joshua's caliber. There's a huge disparity in size, strength, and talent. Jake wouldn't rank among the world's best professional heavyweights, even if he were to hit hard for a 200-pound man. According to Schaub, instead of promoting an unattainable triumph, the bout should have been marketed realistically by focusing on whether Jake Paul could just survive the rounds without getting knocked out. The only practical course of action would have been to run and avoid getting hurt. Any story that implied Paul was capable of dominating or landing significant blows was false. The commentary emphasizes how viewers are misled by the excitement surrounding a puncher's chance, which distorts the reality of elite boxing.
Shooting double legs, too.
Shooting double legs, nice
duck
ones,
unders.
Ankle picks, duck unders. But, dude, God, I see so much people talking shit on the fight, which, dude, what the fuck did they expect? Like, Jake was hyping himself up, saying he's going to win. Dude, that's self-belief. He needed that to go in. He needed that to get himself into the ring. You know what I'm saying? He just needed that.
What do you think about the sticking that tongue out?
Dude, he's a showman. This is a fucking YouTuber that switched to pro boxing.
Yep.
And he's fighting Anthony fucking Joshua.
He's
He made $90 million. $7.5 million per minute. Nate Diaz says, that boy don't work hard enough. This girl in the UFC said, Jake Paul shot more double legs in boxing match than I did in my UFC career. Ryan Garcia said, he's a runner, he's a track star. Al Germain said, this is a clown show. Josh Hammond said, dude, it's like, what did they expect? They expect him to go in there and look like a clean fucking Floyd versus Manny Pacquiao. Two of the, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck?
You see the aftermath, like his jaw and everything? Fuck.
Jake Paul's broken jaw. Jake has to get wired shut for 7 days or something like that.
Yeah, like titanium
Tim had to do
plates.
7 weeks.
Yeah, Tim says that was the worst thing he's ever gone through.
7 weeks. Tim broke his jaw in Montana. Tried to go to the hospital. Hospital said the surgeon's out of town. So now he has to. So he's fucking goes like a week without even getting surgery. At least Jake was able to probably get it like next day, that same day. But it's like all the people hating on Jake. It's crazy. Connor said Jake is stupid and will be altered permanently from this bout. I look at it. It's inspiring seeing what he does because I know how much like he's putting in work. He's doing legitimate fight camps. He's doing sparring. He's doing rounds. He's eating. He's doing everything.
That concludes the video for today. Keep an eye out until the next.
But Jake Paul wasn't so much moving laterally all the time. He was literally running. Look at some of those rounds. He was running. He was going north to south, not side to side. He was running. Anthony Joshua should have been able to cut the ring off. And the times that AJ had Jake Paul cornered, he couldn't get shots off. He wasn't going to the body. He wasn't using his superior size on Jake. Like, I heard Nikisa Badarian say afterwards that AJ was leaning on Jake. Come on. Like, Jake was leaning into AJ, falling into AJ, and that's why those clinches were taking place. AJ is purportedly one of the best heavyweights in boxing. AJ believes he's on the level that he should challenge Tyson Fury. That wasn't the kind of performance that makes me believe Anthony Joshua is still a high-level heavyweight.
Well, you're wrong again. Anthony Joshua didn't look great because he wasn't allowed to look great. When you're in there with a smaller fighter that refuses to engage, refuses to box, to fight, he's running. Think of Canelo Williams' school. Canelo didn't look good, and he got accused of not being able to.
Okay, can I just 1 second? 1 second. I knew you were going to go there.
Oh,
Williams' school is or was an undefeated 168-pounder with a deep amateur background. Jake Paul is a guy who lost to Tommy Fury with no amateur background. So don't compare the two. Don't compare Williams' school to Jake Paul. It's not the same thing.
No, but I can compare.
Sergio Mora is upset with what he saw during the fight between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. He notes that Joshua found it challenging to strike clean shots because Jake Paul ran straight forward and backward for the majority of the fight, never moving laterally. Mora emphasizes that Joshua did not completely utilize his size advantage or assault Paul's body when he had him trapped. Paul frequently leaned into Joshua during clinches, giving the impression that Joshua was passive, according to analysts. Joshua's performance shouldn't be unfairly evaluated, Mora emphasizes. Even strong heavyweights can appear useless when a smaller fighter refuses to engage. He emphasizes that fleeing for survival against a smaller, less talented opponent is quite different from confronting a trained boxer, by drawing comparisons between this and Canelo Alvarez versus Williams. Mora comes to the conclusion that Paul depended on a single overhand right, landing it once, but it didn't accomplish much, revealing his lack of expertise and preference for hype over skill.